Welcome to Enter the PlayStation VR with me, Masofdas, with something a little bit different than normal. This isn't news, this isn't a Let's Play or anything. I just want to talk about PlayStation VR at the moment. I've had my PlayStation VR since launch. As you know, I've been a big fan of PlayStation VR, bringing you content before launch. Since launch, in the first sort of few weeks, my PlayStation VR has really just been sat in the cupboard collecting dust. It's a very strange one. Like, Resident Evil 7 has just come out now. It's, you know, brilliant in VR and everything like that. And like I said in my news video, I played the kitchen demo, and I'm like, do I want to play Resident Evil 7 all the way in VR? No, not really, and I don't have that much desire to play in VR, and that is the big VR game. Possibly this year. We've not seen much from PlayStation VR, back at PSX, where, you know, the Vita gets much love. We saw the arena shooter game that looks a bit like Riggs as well, and that's all we've really seen. It feels like we, obviously very early adopters, you know, like the first people that bought DVD players, the first people that bought Blu-rays or HD DVDs or even HD TV. Like, they're all great. Well, HD DVDs weren't a great technology. Blu-ray obviously won out. But it feels like we're at this very early stage of the technology. It's a great technology. That, don't get me wrong. When I've ever been on the shows, I play a game, normal game, and then you play a game in VR. It's like, this is cool, this is amazing. And same when I brought it home for the first 1 or 2 weeks and stuff, it was amazing, and then it's basically gone in the cupboard. It's like, here's a new game come out. You just, you know, sit in the chair, press your PlayStation button, and just continue, you know, to play the game. You know, it's a strange one. I feel like possibly getting rid of PlayStation VR. It seems a shame that's just sat there collecting dust. I don't want to be like a scalper and that, but if you look at how much the PlayStation VR is selling for and that, you're thinking, you know, that's 500 quid with all the games or whatever just sat there collecting dust. It seems, you know, it seems like such a shame where someone could be playing it and, you know, loving playing it and that. Obviously, of bringing you Enter the PlayStation VR with VR news and content. I feel if I was to get rid of PlayStation VR, you know, there's not been any Let's Plays for ages. I might do one in a minute. I'm going to give the VR some play and some love, actually. I feel if I get rid of VR, it's going to be like false pretenses if I bring you news going, oh, look at this great new game for PlayStation VR. I'm just like, you'll be thinking, well, you don't even have PlayStation VR, Mass. Why are you bringing us this news? So this is what I really want to talk about now is, if I were to get rid of it, or for instance, you know, I've got 70 odd subscribers, you know, not many, but obviously, you know, I get quite a few good, decent views for Enter the PlayStation VR. You know, a lot of you know, comments, put likes. I've seen other people like it on Twitter and stuff like that. So people, you know, do watch it and do care about PlayStation VR. But like I said, I feel like it would be false pretenses to continue. So that's why I'm asking you, what would you want me to do instead? I could continue Enter the PlayStation VR, bring you VR news and that, and obviously it would just be the news. I would say if something looks cool, and that would be my opinion, that looks cool, but you would have to take it with a pinch of salt. There's obviously Nintendo Switch coming up, but you may have seen I'm doing Nintendo Switch content on Nintendo Switch Guru with Tim from Latest Vita Games. So yeah, I don't really want to touch the Vita because I don't want to be stepping on like the likes of Tim's toes or Vita Lounge and stuff like that. Obviously you can tell very much into my PlayStation from you know, talking about PSVR and Vita. I own like a PlayStation 4 Pro, so I don't know about just doing a weekly news thing about PlayStation, which would continue with with VR content. So for instance, this week I was saying, oh, we got a new trailer for Mass Effect, Gravity Rush 2 is the #1 game in Japan. Plus, this is all the new stuff that's entered about VR. So I still cover that. You might want general gaming. My knowledge of Xbox is kind of waned in the last few years. My love for the Xbox is rather dipped, but I can, you know, I can still bring news on that. And then, like I said, Nintendo. But I really want to be focusing my Nintendo stuff on Nintendo Switch Guru. Of course, there's still the 3DS, and Wii U has still got a few games to come, mainly indies. So it's a weird one, unless you know, can think of some completely different that you want me to do. Like, I've got plenty of retro. There's actually is retro news that comes now and again. Could try to do more Let's Plays and stuff of retro, especially recently you might have seen my Sega Saturn pick up. Obviously GameCube, I just recently got a bundle of like 12 Japanese GameCube games. They're all ones that you could get in the UK, apart from Bomberman Land 2, I believe. And so, yeah, so there's plenty thing. Obviously, leave in the comments this what you think, or if you got any thoughts on the whole subject of PlayStation VR, and I will see you possibly again.